Guys, welcome to the Barfly Tailgate Show. You already know it's live. It's done by Barflies, for Barflies, and all the other Bears fans out there. Coming off, a depressing loss, to the Rams. I mean, got to get back in the swing of things, and there's, no better place to do it than right here on the Barfly Tailgate Show. I got joining me today, Mr. Ryan Badgley. Badge of honor. Badge, what's up, brother?
Yo, what's going on, man? Excited to be back. Tough one Monday night, man. The offense, shit down their leg has been the MO since Nagy took over. So I guess we really shouldn't be surprised, but we'll touch on all that. NFL Network's 3 of the 4 members of that panel picked the Bears to beat the Saints today. So I don't know. Maybe they know something we don't. But that's what we're going to fill you guys in with. So plenty of great stuff coming your way. So stay tuned.
Damn straight. Yeah, I know, man. I seen that. There's a couple people picking the Bears to win today, and it's I don't know. I don't know what they're going off of or whatever, but hey, let's see what happens. And then we got Mr. AC, Aaron Current, the Kentucky kid. AC, what's up, man?
What's going on, fellas? Had a good day yesterday. Took my boy trick-or-treating. He was a skull trooper from Fortnite for Halloween, and went out and got some candy. Of course, I got my dad tax on, so you know how that goes.
Yeah.
Man, I only caught part of that game last week because I was at work, but they just didn't look good, man. Maybe we can turn it around.
Yeah, definitely. The offense, just a dismal offense, man. No touchdowns for them last week. I mean, it's just not the way that we were looking for. You know what I'm saying? I mean, there's been all this talk of eventually this offense has got to explode and this and that, and they basically imploded. Just wasn't good at all, man. I also did some Halloween partying last night, and I'm feeling it today, boys. I got my little cup of water here, and I'm definitely feeling it. Hey, before we get started today, for everybody out there, 21 years ago today was the day that Walter Payton passed away. In honor of his sweetness, we have a little tribute video to Walter Payton. So, we'll take this little moment of silence for Mr. Walter, and then we'll kick this video. So, Walter, rest in peace, buddy. A little Walter video, man. Always gets you going a little bit just to watch this dude and bend and break, and you know what I mean, just cuts and everything, man. Just amazing NFL talent. Obviously all-time Hall of Famer, best Bear ever. And it just continues, man. But rest in peace to Mr. Walter Payton. And if you're a younger guy or whatever, and you haven't seen, you've only seen highlights and that, get some clips, man. Get them together. Go watch some old games, because it's truly amazing to see what he did on the football field. So let's run into this Rams game. Let's go into this Rams game, this dismal offense, and I don't know, the pity party or whatever the hell you want to say with that, man. We got embarrassed. We got outcoached. We got outplayed. We just got beat up all the way around, man. Offensive struggles were just horrific, man. Just a total inept offense. I mean, all of us, I won't say that we were expecting a lot, right? But we were definitely expecting more than that. I think, I'm a believer that it all starts and ends in the offensive line, but Nagy's play calling, man, I don't know, Badge. What's your thoughts on all this, man? It's hard to put into words.
Yeah, I would totally agree with that, Bobby. It's very difficult to put into words, and the fact that offensively we're now approaching week 8 and we still don't have an identity. You look at what transpired in the first few games of the season with Mitchell Trubisky. The offense looked like it was going to be a more under center kind of rushing offense, and then using the play action off of the running game. And now that Foles has taken over, you don't see any of that really anymore. Is that a de facto definite thing to, get this run game going? No, not necessarily. But great article from JJ Stankovitz. I don't know if anybody's had a chance to see it or not, but Aldo shared it with us in Slack this morning. I went through and read it. And, JJ says, maybe going back to the under center stuff, bringing the fullback in. Clearly, Bobby, as you said it, you and I think like to think the same way. It all starts and ends up front on both sides of the ball. And this offensive line is not playing good football. It's kind of in shambles right now. No Cody Whitehair. James Daniels obviously done for the season. It's been Rashad Coward, with the exception of Alex Bars coming in right after Daniels went down. And aside from that first snap, I thought he played well. Yet, here we are 2 games later, and Rashad Coward does not look good at all at the left guard position. Our tackles are struggling mightily, and the trade deadline is Tuesday. We go into this game against the Saints here with a great pass rusher down in New Orleans. Gosh, why can't I think of his name right now?
Talking about Cam?
Cam Hayward. Cameron Jordan. Jesus. Yeah. I wanted to call him Cam Hayward for some reason. So Cam Jordan, he could wreak havoc today. Now the rest of the Saints defense, they've got some playmakers there and whatnot. But this is going to be a struggle, I think, all season for this offense. And I like Matt Nagy, but man, is he stubborn. And the fact that he said in a press conference this week, he's not going to call players out, not going to point fingers. Allen Robinson said it in a press conference 2 weeks ago that the players are starting to recognize where the deficiencies are, and they're addressing it between the players. If the players are self-policing, coach, you shouldn't be afraid to say something to somebody, whether it's in the press or not, because clearly what's happening in Chicago right now, the players are not, they need a fire lit under their ass. And the offensive line, I don't know what it is to fix it. If it's a complete and blow up job and rebuild, okay, then so be it. But I just until that offensive line is fixed, this offense isn't going to do shit.
Yeah, you're not going to get away with that mid-season, though. You know what I mean? Halfway through, I mean, you can't.
No, you can't.
Yeah. So, I mean, what do you got to lose with going with Bars? I mean, I don't know.
Right.
I mean, I don't know, man. It's just.
And I see like Jeremy Atkins in the chat. Montgomery is garbage. How do you know, dude? He's not able to get out of the backfield. I mean, you look at this guy running the ball when he's hit 3 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Yeah, I mean, goddamn. I see all this hate on Montgomery. He's not even getting a chance. He isn't the problem at all. It's not David Montgomery. I mean, everybody likes to finger point. Collectively, as a group, the offense needs to get better. And it starts up front. And that's what we need to see from Nagy, is to come out in a press conference fired up, not coming out. I mean, Jesus Christ, after Monday night's game, he came out, oh, yeah, we didn't play well.
Defeated. He came out
like,
defeated.
yeah, like, come on, you're
show.
the head coach of the most storied franchise in the NFL, and this is how you're showing up to a press conference after a loss? You should be fired up and going, our offensive line played like shit. They need to figure it out. And he doesn't do that.
Yeah, you see, he does. He tiptoes around stuff. And yeah, I know Zim just put it in the chat. Like, wasn't Nagy saying 2 months ago that the players want to be publicly called out? He was saying that it was basically that, saying that they're professional enough to know and that they can take it and this and that. But yet he doesn't do it, man. And I get it. I get maybe not like beating a dead horse and calling them out on, every little piece, but put them as a whole. They're units. I mean, that's what they are. They'll just say it. The offensive line has been fucking miserable. And what do we have as backups? Undrafted free agents. That's what we have. Those are our backups. Guys who were not picked. Those are our backups to come in and save the day. So, I mean, at this point, who knows, man? I mean, there's definitely, I think we all felt like there was going to be a move made, that a move has to be made. But there's not. And maybe we are overreacting. If you're in the chat, you think people are overreacting on the Bears, seeing that they are still 5-2. Let us know. Let us know your thoughts on that. I know last week we said Komet, Badge seen my bet last week too, but I know we said that Komet needs to get more involved in the offense, man. And he had a couple big plays last week, and he was, shining. We got a little clip here of Cole talking about that, but let's go ahead and drop that in here, and then we'll talk a little bit about Komet.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it does a lot for my confidence in terms of, Nick being able to still throw that up to me, so that was pretty cool from my end, that play and, the one in Carolina, those two plays are kind of cool for me as a young player to have, our quarterback have that type of confidence in me. When Nick maybe is in a little bit of a panic mode, he can put his eyes towards me or towards Jimmy. Like, those are things that we kind of take pride in when, things are kind of coming at him and, there's a blitz coming and, he's got to get rid of the football. Who's he looking to? And you want to be that guy. So it's pretty cool that, to have him, look at my way in those situations a couple of times. So, to kind of have that trust with him and, he have that trust with me is pretty awesome.
So what do you guys think, man? I think, go ahead.
He seems to be building confidence throughout the year. We're seeing more and more plays out of him. And just like he said, to be that guy that Foles trusts to put it up to him, that he's going to make a play, that's just going to build even more confidence. And a lot of times you don't see this out of rookie tight ends. They say it, it takes a year or two before the tight end position can get their legs under them and this and that. But Komet he's making plays, man. And I think it helps a lot that he's got a mentor in Jimmy Graham there to kind of tell him from experience, this is what I've done. And this is how I go about preparation and the film room, you know what I'm saying? And stuff like that. And I think that's going a long way with Komet, and he'll just continue to build confidence. I felt like we should have used him and Jimmy more last week because the linebackers were the weakness in that Rams defense. But, I mean, it is what it is. They had a game plan, I guess. I think they did.
Who knows what it was, though? I mean, for the most part,
please score for us.
For the most part, you got Nick Foles dropping back at 5-step drops, 7-step drops. He only makes it to like 3 of them before somebody's breathing down his neck and trying to just destroy him. And he's scared. Foles is scared back there, man. And you could see he's not setting his feet. He's not doing any of that. We seen that one throw to Montgomery that was an overthrow. He's wide open. But the blitz is coming, man. And should he have still made it? Sure. Is there blitzes coming at every quarterback, every week? Yeah, there is. But there's no confidence. Foles has zero confidence in the offensive line, and he is scared back there. He is just straight terrified of the people that are coming after him.
I can't blame him. We made Leonard Floyd look like a fucking legit outside linebacker last weekend.
Look like an all-pro.
They were talking about it on the commentary. Yeah. They were like, well, this is Leonard Floyd taking advantage of his one-on-ones, because they've got to focus on Aaron Donald. Where was that in Chicago, dude?
Right, yeah. Right.
You had Mack.
He only did it against Green Bay.
Well, last year, though, you had no Hicks. So, that I think that definitely played a role in that. But to that point, I mean, it's Aaron Donald. He's one man. Khalil Mack is one man. So if Aaron Donald could do that, I feel like Floyd just couldn't make plays. I don't know. But to go back to Cole Kmet, we talked last week on the show about Olin Kreutz and saying that he should be the starter. And, I think we were all, as long as he made plays, didn't matter where he went on the depth chart. Well, after this past week, to me, Demetrius Harris needs to be removed from the field in any way, shape, or form. Dropping passes, penalties, he just should not be there. Kmet, if it's 2 or 1, I don't think I care if he's the 1 or 2 at this point. But the last few weeks, he's made plays. And that's what we need, is somebody who's going to make plays. Because clearly this O-line is not going to benefit the run game or the pass game. Nick Foles, I think one of the things that hampers Nick Foles is he doesn't have the mobility. And I'm not going to bring Mitch into this because Mitch is mobile.
Yes, we are.
Well, I'm not in what I'm going to say. Foles he's not a mobile quarterback, right? So most of your non-mobile quarterbacks in this league are going to get hit. Here's the problem with what's happening in Chicago. Those quarterbacks have 2.5 seconds, 2.8 seconds, Nick has about 2.2 seconds to get rid of the football. And sometimes it's less than that because this O-line just can't. I mean, Aaron Donald split 2 defenders. I lost count at 7 Monday night. I don't get how that's possible. These guys aren't – it looks like they're not even trying to put a hand on the person across from them. Yeah. So, it's got to be addressed. To me, I don't think Rashad Coward should be starting today. I think it should be Alex Bars. And to continue to just send these same guys out week over week. You've got a guy sitting on the bench in Jason Spriggs, who's a backup offensive tackle. I mean, he's kind of been injury prone since he came into the league, but let's see what he can do because Leno and Massey aren't doing enough. Coward isn't the answer at left guard. Just like last year, they didn't think he was the answer at right guard, and that's why we went out and got Jermaine Ifedi. So
on the 4th and 1 play, which was a stupid play call to begin with, but if somebody put it up on Twitter, you watch Rashad Coward, he's blocking the air. I mean, he just goes out there and he doesn't know what he's doing.
In a little circle,
like. Hit somebody, man. That's your job.
I don't know. I'm in agreement with all of it. I mean, I think on the tight end piece, definitely Harris just needs to. I don't know, man. He just needs to go away. Or just not be
Horsehead, don't we?
Not be thrown to. I mean, I don't know. I just think
he made some plays last year.
I just think that's definitely. Another piece to where Nagy just is lacking. And then on the offensive line piece, man, there's not a defense in this league that's afraid of our offensive line.
No,
there's not
at all.
You have Donald last week come out and say, "Oh, if I can go one-on-one against these guys," he was specifically speaking of Jermaine Ifedi, but he said, "Oh, if I can go one-on-one against him all game, that's a dream." It's a dream come true for me to go up against him. He's like, I would go up against him every game. And he basically just shit all over the offensive line. And I don't think there's any fear from another team standpoint of going up against these guys. And they know they're going to have a field day. They know that they're going to get in there. Now, what we were saying before, because we've seen all Chicago naysayers and we've seen all like a lot of Chicago fans react with they think that Mitch runs his offense better than Nick does. And I know Nick came back in the Falcons game and scored 3 touchdowns and, whatever, but they think that the offense runs better with Mitch because he has that ability to flee out of the pocket and move on the run. I'm still good personally. I'm still good with Foles going. I don't think there is any reason because I believe this all comes down to Nagy and comes down to the offensive line. But AC, what do you think, man? Is this should Mitch
statistically the
Mitch is
Trubisky at quarterback? They have better numbers. However, he played the Lions, the Giants, and half of the Falcons, while Foles has had to play the other half of the Falcons and win it for us. The Colts, who have a good defense, the Buccaneers, who have a good defense. I mean, to me, it's apples to oranges. But I really feel like Nagy is going to ride or die with Nick Foles, and Foles is going to be the starter until he gets hurt or Nagy is no longer our coach. I don't see him changing it up because this is his guy. He trusts his system so much that he's going to go with his guy, regardless of what the numbers say. I mean, they came out this last week and they asked him if he was going to give up play calling, and he felt like that wasn't the issue. Well, I feel like it is, buddy. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, he was a little upset with that too. You could tell he's a little upset with how these, how people are kind of calling him out, even though he won't call players out, but how he's being called out for all this. And I mean, it would all stop if you just score some damn points,
and that's the thing. I mean, you think back, guys, over his tenure here, right?
Yeah.
How many times have we put up over 30 points? I'm pretty sure you can count on one hand.
Yeah.
Right? So,
well,
and if we did score over 30,
it was with the backup quarterbacks.
Well, exactly. Number one. Number two, the defense scored some points as well.
Yeah.
I'm speaking offensively here. So it just his offense, whether it's the play calling. One of the things I wanted to touch on, and so before we get off of this Rams game, is you hear Nagy use the word execution all the time. We've got to execute better. Well, the Rams execute their offense much better than this Bears offense.
They outcoached the crap out of Nagy.
And Brandon Staley, the defensive coordinator, I mean, there wasn't anything that they didn't know was coming. And something's got to give
you out. It's not difficult to figure out. Cordero Patterson's in the backfield. He's getting the ball. Let's run a screen here.
Yeah. I mean, running to the short side of the field. I mean, it's like that the jet sweep to Patterson that we've seen, time and time again since Patterson joined the team last season. They run it. It's to the short side of the field. You're not giving him enough room to find a lane, to find some space, to make a move and make a guy miss. It just, it's execution. It's play calling. And the fact that he was so down in that presser and the one following the game the next day, and then finally later on in the week, he was like, no, we're not ready. That's something we look at. We're not ready to do that yet. I don't know if changing the play caller makes that much of a difference right now when they're not executing. So,
I mean, execution is big, but I feel like I saw Laser's offense up here in Cincinnati. He knows how to use his running backs. And he knows, I mean, they weren't winning a ton of games, but their offense looked pretty good with Andy Dalton under center. So I feel like give it a shot. What's the worst that could happen? You find a hidden gem in Cole Kmet or something. I mean,
I mean, I think that he's overwhelmed. I don't think that he sees what he should see as a head coach. and able to execute on things because he's wrapped up in the play calling. Now there's some great head coaches that can do that.
Time management struggles because of that.
Yeah, time management challenges, everything struggles because of it. I mean, there's some great head coaches that can do that, right? I just don't think he can. I don't think that he can physically run all aspects of the game while being the offensive coordinator and calling the plays.
Agreed.
Also. I think, like, now don't get me wrong. Like, I see people saying, Nagy's got to go, whatever. And that's from a fan standpoint, but this is only the third time in Nagy's coaching career for the Bears that he's lost a game by more than 10 points. It's only the third time.
He has a great defense.
Exactly.
I
was going to just say that. It's the defense. I mean, he's had a championship caliber defense since his time started in Chicago, and that's why. That's why he's on, because the defense keeps him in game. Eddie Jackson doesn't return that fumble for a touchdown Monday night. We've scored 3 points. 3 points.
That's why I pulled out the Bojack today.
Yeah.
The Rams have always had our number. Last year they had our number. The year before it was kind of a little battle back and forth.
Beat
but
the crap out of them in 2018. That's when they came to Chicago, and we beat the crap out of Goff, but we didn't score a lot on offense. Yeah,
I mean they have Nagy's brain, man. They know what to do. We agree. We definitely need to invest more. What just happened here? I'm gonna pause.
Everything looks fine to me.
We got a great question. We got a great question here in the chat, AC. Here it is, right? How much input do you think Foles has in the offense and the play calling in the playbook? I think he speaks with Nagy, but I don't think he gets as much of a say as he wants.
Well, it's difficult to say. I feel like in Philly, they probably kind of let him have free reign. Like maybe they gave him 2 or 3 plays at the line and he chose which one would work the best. And I feel like Nagy, where he had Trubisky, a young quarterback, he was just able to tell him, this is what we're running, this is what we're doing. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know if he's trying that same approach with Foles, and I have no idea how much say he's got in it. I did want to touch on the O-line. Spain, that guy from Buffalo, got signed to the Bengals practice squad. I mean, we couldn't do that, sign a guy to the practice squad just to have depth at the very least. I hope we see. I don't know, man.
It's frustrating. One of the things we
down at a 5-2 team, but
I know, right? Man. That's what I think too. I mean, I have conversations with people, on the phone all the time, or you're out at a grocery store, you see somebody, that you haven't seen, you're talking ball, whatever, and hey, 5-2, or 5-1 before, and it's like, yeah, I mean, it's great, but something's
we're winning
missing.
Ball games, but they're not.
Yeah. Pretty. They're frustrating wins. We've said it, I think since last season. I want to see one of those blowout, 41-17 kind of wins, or, how we beat Tampa in 2018, like something like that. And they just don't happen. One of the other things, AC, I wanted to touch on that I meant to touch on last week's show was how well Cairo Santos and Pat O'Donnell have been performing over the course of the season. Santos the last few weeks has been great, and I think he's really solidified this kicking position for the team, which could mean –
I said it a couple weeks ago. Since Robbie Gould left, this is the first kicker where I have confidence when he steps on the field. He's going through the uprights.
Yeah.
And even from 55, we saw him nail it from 55. Now, as the year progresses and it gets colder, that might be something to watch for. And the wind's blowing in Soldier Field, but I have confidence in Carlos Santos.
Carlos Santos. And Pat O'Donnell, man. To me, Pat O'Donnell has been great as well.
I feel like he's getting it out quicker this year.
Yeah.
A lot of times in seasons past, we'd see he kind of would hold the ball and it would always be right there to get blocked. And most of the time he would get it off, but sometimes he would have issues. Yeah, I mean, he's performing well enough, I do believe. I'm pretty sure this is a contract year for O'Donnell, and he just signed like a 1-year deal just for this year. So
I think so, yeah.
Maybe that's something to look into. Like this guy only performed in a contract year and going forward.
Right.
But I mean, it's hard to. Our special teams is good. Our defense is good. Offense
it's just that offense that we're missing. All right, we beat them enough. So let's get into some history here.
Give me a history lesson, badge.
Little history lesson here. There he is. We got our guy Bobby Bombs back in his house.
Dude, my power went out.
No kidding.
Yeah, I don't know if it's the wind or what's going on outside.
Are you dealing with the storm out there?
Yeah, but just like literally, my router had to restart. Everything had to restart. It was like,
wow.
And I was like,
dude, it's all over the country today.
Bye, guys.
I know Fantasy Football Goon, Joe was having some issues. He lives in Illinois. It's very windy here in New York.
Yeah.
Bobby's obviously got some high winds going on. AC, how's the weather down in Kentucky, brother?
Yeah, we didn't get a weather report, AC.
It's bipolar. It's cold one day and warm the next. So I got a little something in my throat. I don't think it's Rona, but it's a little windy, but it's. I mean, I'm still got I've had issues earlier in the show. You guys saw me bounce out. I had to connect to a different Wi-Fi because I'm having some issues too. Hey, that's my boy Ace. I was in Korea with him.
Nice.
Shout out, brother.
All right, so time for that history lesson, fellas. So the Bears and Saints have met 31 times, which seems like a low number to me. Doesn't it seem low to you guys?
How old is the Saints franchise? I don't know when 51. They were established.
51. As of today, they are 51 years old.
Okay.
Because today is the Saints franchise birthday.
So more than half the years they've been in the league, we played them.
Yeah. So the Saints actually lead the series 16-15. And that last matchup obviously was last season, and they've actually won the last 5 matchups, though that one in 2018 where Zach Miller caught the touchdown pass and his knee, they should have lost because that was a touchdown that wasn't called. But I was talking about that on Twitter this week. Just my man Zach Miller. I love his Mike Myers Halloween costume yesterday. I thought it was great. But so last season we lost obviously 36-25, and you're like, hey, 25 points. We must have had a heck of a game. Yeah, most of those 25 points came in garbage time. So no, we really didn't play that well. And Drew Brees didn't play last year when the Bears
Bridgewater tore us up.
Yeah, so it was Teddy Bridgewater that tore us up. Got a little bit of revenge on Teddy 2 weeks ago. Hey,
Teddy
maybe we'll get something here on Drew Brees, but this is going to be a test. But the Saints are missing some, key players and whatnot.
Out again.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. The Bears, Bobby, I know you had mentioned made some moves this week as well.
Yeah. I mean, so brought in a punt returner, Dwayne Harris, who used to play for the Raiders. What's the deal with Ginn? Is this the end of Ginn? You guys just get rid of Ginn now?
I mean, I don't know about getting rid of him, maybe keeping him around for a veteran presence, but he doesn't need to be back there returning punts. At the very least, we need someone to stand under and call a fair catch. And I don't feel like that's too much to ask. Look at what the Rams punter did to us last week. I mean, we were constantly pinned inside the 10-yard line because our punt returner just had no interest in going over there and hauling it in.
We were rewatching that last night just infuriated me. Because there is literally a ball that he could have caught at the 11-yard line, and instead he allowed it to hit at the 9, and it bounced backwards, but luckily, or it bounced closer to the goal line, and then luckily bounced back the other way, and we ended up with the ball at like the 11.
Yeah.
Just get under the thing and fucking catch the ball, Ted.
Yeah.
You're a veteran punt returner in this league. I don't even want him running it. Just fair catch it and let us take over from there. Because honestly, I really don't trust him not to fumble the football. In all honesty,
I don't either. And I think that like the first couple of returns when he showed what he was bringing to the table was like, what the hell? Like, what is
this? Is our best option.
He's out there making business decisions, guys.
Yeah.
He's at the end of his career, and he's like, I'm not gonna have a busted knee for the rest of my life because I'm returning punts out here.
Well, they did say, I'm pretty certain they said that Harris can suit up today. If you're in the chat and I'm wrong, let me know. But I'm pretty certain that Harris can and is suiting up today. Obviously, we talked a little earlier. We didn't really see any other moves. We didn't see any other, offensive line signings, nothing like that.
I touched on Spain for a second. He got signed to the practice squad in Cincinnati. I think that was why your power was out.
Probably.
I just told Badge, I was like, why don't we make a move like that? I mean, we've seen Snacks Harris get signed to Seattle's practice squad. We've seen now Spain get signed to Cincinnati's practice squad. Do they not see the problem? If we see the problems, they've got to see the problems.
You know what? I'm guessing that it's because Ryan Pace currently has no hair on his balls to make that move. And speaking of having no hair on your balls, you can go to manscaped.com and use promo code BARROOM20 and get 20% off your total order and also free shipping. Covering the shipping, 20% off your order. A bunch of people have been sending me texts and stuff of their purchases and how much they're saving in that. A lot of guys executing now and getting their Christmas presents done in that. So get over to Manscaped, use code BARROOM20, get your lawnmower 3.0 or whatever you want to get. Take a look at it.
Lawnmower 3.0, you get with our discount, it's $16 off plus free shipping. I have a friend at work who bought one, and he was like, pretty sweet. So
yeah, easy day. And that just worked out perfect. Pace not having a hair on his balls is moving us into a Manscaped commercial.
Well, it's not like we could have a clean sack or a ball saving play of the game from last week.
No, we definitely cannot. Badge, I know you got a couple stickers to give away. We kind of did a little thing yesterday with But it was little. There was only like maybe people didn't go out or didn't dress up or people are just too cool for it. I was fucking Spider-Man. I was rocking the damn town last night in that thing. I had my silly string and I was slanging webs on people. I'll say that. I'll say that some people didn't they weren't too happy about it, but it happened anyway.
I'm a Marine.
It happened anyway, and it was a fun time. So let me look at this real quick. I think we only had like 3 submissions. Zim, I totally agree with you. I think there's 0% chance that Pace is gone, and there's also a 0% chance that Nagy's gone. And I'll even say I think there's a 0% chance that Charles Leno is gone this year. I think he's staying.
I made a Facebook post last week after the game. The sad thing is that this defense is going to drag us to 8-8. So nothing will change this offseason, which is kind of sad because we got if you continue to do the same thing over and over and expect a different result, that's the definition of insanity.
Yeah. So we got in this little contest that we have here, we have Steve Zimmerman. He gives us Princess Buttercup, the Dread Pirate Roberts, and Michael Myers. So he's got, they're dressed up, and then we have Wolf, who was Buzz Lightyear, and he's got his whole outfit on. All right, let me just do it this way. Hold on a second. Let's have you guys vote on what you think in the chat. So here's Zim's. I think
looks like Zorro to me.
And then Zims was a little dark. And then we got Janowski, Brandon Janowski with his Buzz Lightyear.
Nice.
That's classic.
And then there's actually, Wolf always has to try to, or go big. So Wolf sent us a
You got
few
the
more.
helmet and everything. Look at that.
Yeah. He's getting
It's a
after
little light bulb
it.
that blinks.
And then we have Brandon Segura, who was Slash.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
I like that.
Those are our three options. Go ahead and vote in the chat, and we will go ahead and award somebody that thing here, in a little bit. Or, I mean, do we even have to vote, Badge?
I don't even think we need to vote. I'm just gonna give them all
My vote's
stickers.
for
So
Yeah, let's just give them to all three of them. Fuck
Fuck
it, you're all winners today.
I got 3 different stickers. Each of you are gonna get one. Just send me your freaking home address and shit, and I'll mail it to you. And we'll get it out to you.
So hit up Badge on Facebook or hit up
Twitter,
the Bar Room
Instagram.
on Twitter. Yeah, Badge has got open DMs on Twitter.
Yeah, get him. Badge sounded like Coach Nagy there for a second, talking to the offensive line. You're all winners today. You get a sticker, and you get a sticker.
We trust you guys to protect the quarterback.
And I'm never gonna yell at anybody. All right, let's get into the Saints thus far this season. Saints are 4-2. Losses came to the Packers and the Raiders, and their wins came against the Bucs, Lions, Chargers, and last week against the Panthers. I mean, they got beat by the Packers and the Raiders. They beat the brakes off of them. And then the Panthers last week, we seen, that was a close ass game coming down to the wire.
Yeah.
It was a 3-point game,
And
it was a close game. And I get it. I mean, I know Drew Brees right now is leading the league in completion percentage. And Alvin Kamara he's leading that team in receptions, and he's also, he's an all-purpose yards, like 838 or 890 all-purpose yards this year. So it's a high-powered offense. They're definitely without 3 wide receivers today that we'll get into here in a little bit. But we also got some guys going back to their old stomping ground. We got Jimmy Graham going back to his old stomping ground. We got Akeem Hicks, who was asked. Yeah, we got Akeem Hicks, who was asked what does he feel going back there to play. So let's throw this thing up there real quick, and then we will talk about what Akeem had to say.
It's always an important game. I'll tell you the truth there. It's always an important game. But I would say this. There was an instance about 6 or 7 weeks ago. I don't know how many weeks ago, actually. I was on Instagram, and I saw them highlighting Marcus Colston's highlights. And it just brought back so many fond memories of my time spent there. And it pulled me away from my usual animosity of that jersey color. And I started to remember how much, just how much the game means to you and the fellowship and the bond that you make with players, over the years. And one of those being a friend that I have there now currently in Cam Jordan, you don't lose those type of relationships. And overall, they make it a positive experience. Do I appreciate how I was, cast aside, how I was told that I wasn't good enough to play in this league or I wasn't good enough to play for that team? No, I don't appreciate those things. But, you never forget, but you can't carry hate in your heart. You know what I'm saying? And I would also say that, you just appreciate those moments. And so I wouldn't say it loses its luster, right? You still want to be competitive and you still want to play a great game. But at the end of the day, you have to remember that, this game isn't just about me. This game is about my team, my season and what we're planning to do, for our future. So, you got to put some of those things to the side and remember there's a bigger picture.
Dude, Akeem is like one of the, I don't know, obviously he's one of my favorite professional athletes all around, but he's just like comes out, he's a real dude all the time. And he just, openly talks. He's like, yeah, I didn't like that jersey, but then once you come to think about it, and you think about the bonds that you made and whatever, it brings it back to light again. And he's just a real dude, man. And he also came out last week and said, publicly apologized for all the penalties that he got. Granted, I think a lot of them were bullshit, but for him to come out and take it on the chin like that and just get after it, man. I see a big game coming from him this week. I think he's gonna, it just fires him up a little more to play against this team.
I mean, look at Akeem Hicks, man. Like, this is your vocal leader, right, of this team. He's the spirit behind this team, right? And last season, you didn't hear him talk about this New Orleans game the way he talked about it just there in that clip. He was ready to just rip dudes' heads off and dominate. And now, you look at, and maybe it was, hey, he missed some time last season. He was injured. And maybe now looking back at it, it's like, yeah, you know what? They did me dirty, but it motivated me. And now he looks back on that as a point in time in his life where, hey, this had to happen and it woke me up. And now look at me. Now look where I'm at. And this guy is part of a defense here that really is a championship caliber defense. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. But he is the heart and soul of this team. And to hear him, looking at the game now through his eyes versus where he was, man, that's a real dude, as Bobby said it. And I feel like every time we hear from Akeem, he's one of the realest dudes out there. And kudos to him. I agree, Bobby. I think he's going to ball out because he's got that extra chip on his shoulder.
Yeah. Well, if you're looking for a weakness in the Saints offense, I feel like it's on the O-line. So I feel like Akeem and Mac, and I'd love to see Quinn get involved today. They got to get there quick because that ball's coming out. But yeah, I love Akeem Hicks. I got his jersey upstairs. It's the white one, so I couldn't wear it today because I'm not superstitious, but I'm a little stitious. But yeah, I love Akeem, and I did hear something about Drew Brees struggling in the cold though. How cold is it up there? Do you guys know?
I don't know what the temperature of kickoff is.
I don't think
you're normally our show weather man. You know.
Well, I'm in Kentucky. I don't know what it feels like up there in Chicago.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Around the rest of the NFC North, we got tie games. We got 7-7 Colts and Lions and 7-7 Vikings Packers. Vikings Packers got about 9 minutes left in the second, and Colts and Lions got about 11 minutes left in the second. So, I mean, I'll take a Packer loss, but whatever. Packers.
I'm perfectly okay with that.
Yeah.
Guys, I want to kind of talk about this Saints running attack. And I say I want to talk about the Saints running attack. It's not just out of the backfield. The Saints are probably one of the top teams in the NFL at using their running backs in the passing attack. Kamara and Murray both, yes, they run the ball very well out of the backfield, but they catch it very well too. Last week combined for 195 yards rushing. And this is going to be a tough test because we're struggling right now in the run game. And this is going to be really tough with Kamara and Murray, and now having to worry about them coming out of the backfield and catching the football as well. It's going to be very difficult, I think, on this Bears defense today. One of the things you noticed in the game last week is we were susceptible to play action. And now, while the Saints aren't quite like the Rams in the way they use it, they do use it quite a bit. And yes, I get Michael Thomas isn't there. Emmanuel Sanders isn't there. I think it's Traquan Smith is going to be their number one receiver for today's game. They also have Jared Cook, the tight end.
Yeah, he's a good tight end.
I don't care who the receivers are. It's still Drew Brees there as the quarterback. Yes, he's up there in age, but he's control the ball. Man. Very efficient. Something we know nothing about at the quarterback position in Chicago. This Saints offense is a well-oiled machine. They move the ball very efficiently. You don't see them having to punt an awful lot. I want to say it was 2 weeks ago. They didn't punt in the game at all.
Wow.
Maybe it was 3 weeks ago. So, this isn't going to be easy today. Yes, the Saints are without some weapons, but they've still got the biggest weapon in their arsenal in Alvin Kamara.
Yeah.
And it's going to be tough today, AC.
Yeah, I mean, after watching last week's game, the way the Rams were able to gash us with the run game, you can't help yourself but to be worried about Alvin Kamara. This he's so dynamic. I mean, he can do it all. He'll run between the tackles. You get him out on a sweep. You throw a screen to him, or hell, send him down the field and give him a fly route or a wheel route.
Yeah,
and he could do it all. And that's going to be a difficult task for our defense to handle.
Yeah.
Now, it is helpful that they are down at the wide receiver position so we can focus more, hopefully, on Alvin Kamara. But this will be, to me, it's a big test for Roquan Smith. If I'm I almost said Fangio again. If I am Pagano, I'm telling Roquan, get after this dude. This is your assignment all day. You follow him all around. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You don't have to worry about Drew Brees is not a mobile quarterback. You don't have to worry about him sneaking out of the backfield like Goff did a time or two last week. So Roquan, take care of Kamara or Murray or whoever's there. And as I said last week, I have complete trust in our outside corners. We even saw last week against the Rams, they did really well against Kupp and Woods, who are a very good wide receiver tandem. But
look what they do with those guys, though. You know what I mean? Like Nagy's trying to do it with Cordarrelle Patterson, and you see Kupp and Woods lining up in the backfield and taking a handoff and picking up positive yardage.
Yeah,
Nagy's trying to do the same shit
on the reverse.
Yeah, I mean, I know, like you guys said, with the 3 wide receivers out, right? Our biggest problem today is Kamara and Murray, I think. Even though last week, man, Callaway, who's out today, he had like 10 receptions on 12 targets last week.
I saw him down in Tennessee, and he is at least in Tennessee, he was a big target who they would just throw it up to, and he killed my Wildcats. And we had a good secondary. You know, we had NFL caliber secondary, and that guy was just that guy against us.
Yeah.
And so, but you say he's out today, correct?
Yeah, he's out today with a thigh. And then you got Emmanuel Sanders, who's out because he's still in COVID protocol. And then, of course,
Michael Thomas. And what's up with that?
I don't know.
So there was
he goes from punching a dude in the face, right? Yeah. So he's suspended. Now then he's injured when he was trying to come back. Now was back on the field this week, but not healthy enough to play when they were saying earlier in the week it seemed like he would be ready to go this week.
I don't know. Earlier this season when he was struggling a little bit, Goon in our fantasy league. I know some of y'all don't want to hear about fantasy, but whatever, I'm gonna say it. He traded me Julio for Michael Thomas, and I was like, screw it, I'm so done with Michael Thomas, take him. And that's worked out for me because Julio's actually on the field now.
Dude, my fantasy days are.
I got you this week, Bobby.
Oh, you do? I need to make. I don't even think I
looked at his lineup.
No, I haven't. The only reason I looked at my lineup last week is because Joe tagged me in a message saying Bobby's starting a quarterback who's on a bye. And I was like,
if I'm playing you, I ain't saying nothing.
I probably do the same thing, man. I don't know. I honestly haven't even looked at it. Hopefully, who gives a shit? So
I wanted to ask you guys something about as we were talking about Kamara and Murray, right?
Yeah.
And AC, you think it should be Roquan on Kamara, right? Where I feel like if we're going into that dime package, it should be Deion Bush.
Yeah, well,
I was speaking in like our mostly our base defense.
You're okay. I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, I mean, you have to put. I don't know. I think we're going to be in the dime package for the most part. Alvin Kamara leads that team in receptions. Granted, I know we said that they're down the 3 wide receivers, but he's leading that team in receptions. He's leading that team. You know what I mean? He is the key component. If they shut him down, They're going to have to rely on Traquan Smith and Jared Cook and some other no-name wide receiver that Breeze is going to explode onto the field. You know, but then
like we
again,
were saying, man, it's that system. That system just, I feel like they can plug and play guys.
I mean, then again, you got Jalen Johnson and you got Kyle Fuller. Jalen Johnson right now is the most targeted cornerback in the NFL. Most targets. He's the most targeted quarterback in the NFL, and the kid is just balling out, man. Our defensive side, I'm really not that worried about. I think we're going to take another high-powered quarterback, another good team. We're going to get the line's going to get that middle pressure, right? Get up in Breeze's face. Everybody knows that Breeze isn't a tall quarterback, and I think that's probably one of the main game plans is getting that middle to crush in a little bit, that middle pressure, get your damn hands up.
Yeah. If you don't get there, get your hands up. Yeah.
Yeah. Make it harder for him to see. It hasn't really obviously worked for a lot of teams because he's still a beast, but I think that's the going in game plan, man. And then, we need to force some turnovers because our defense has to score for us to win. That's it. Hands down.
I was talking to a friend of mine at the beginning of the week, and he's a Saints fan. And he was like, "What's going to happen next week?" And I was like, "Bro, I don't know." And he was like, "Well, y'all don't have an offense and we don't have a defense. So we'll see. We'll see what happens here. We might end up with a 17-10 game. I don't know."
Yeah, I don't know if you guys seen that. Tua, I guess, threw a touchdown against the Rams. So Zim came out with his little jab.
Yeah.
Nice work, Zim. So, I mean, obviously turnovers, obviously shutting this team down, right? And we have to, to flip over to the offensive side of the ball, unless you guys got more stuff on defense. Flipping over to the offense, man, something has to be done today, dude. Like Badge was mentioning earlier, this the JJ Stankovich. I took some notes on this JJ Stankovich thing earlier, and we're just a beat down team. Points per game, we're ranked 27th. Yards per play, we're ranked 30th. Yards per run, we're ranked 30th. Yards per pass, we're ranked 29th. Interception, we're 26th. Third down conversion rate, we're 30th. First down, we're 27th. Red zone, we're 29th. We are a team that is in straight trash mode. And that's
offensively.
And this is from an offensive head coach. That's what bugs me the most about all of it. With Lovey, he wasn't able to field an offense. That's why they got rid of him. So they brought in Tressman, and they gave him a trash can defensive coordinator. And our defense gave up 60 points a game. So he couldn't do anything. So they bring in Fox, who's got a history of turning around programs. And his offense couldn't do anything. So then they go back to another offensive mind, and we're all like, okay, sweet. We're getting a piece of that Kansas City offense. At least I was excited about it.
Yeah.
And now we're in the same boat. You know, our defense is carrying our ass, and our offense, who's led by our head coach, it's not there. There's and I don't know if it's scheme or O-line, but they're not doing anything to change what the issue is. They just keep saying we're 5-2. So suck it up, Buttercup.
That's kind of like Nagy's go-to lately. Is like, well, I mean, we're still a 5-2 team. Yeah. You're facing a Saints team this week that went 12 for 14 on third down last week, and they didn't punt a single time in the game.
That was last week? I thought it was 2 weeks ago. Okay.
No, I think it was last week against the Panthers. Yeah, they didn't punt a single time.
Oh, okay. Holy crap.
Yeah, and they just moved the ball methodically downfield. And he's gone against some of these offenses that are doing this, and yet with the besides the offensive line, right? But with the key spots, the talent that are in those spots, you would think that he would be able to get something going. I don't even care if he gets back to old tricky type shit, whatever. If it's going to work and you need to move the ball downfield, then start damn doing it, because there's definitely not. And granted, there's been some missed plays, right? If Mooney catches that ball and ties the game right there, you could be looking at, something obviously completely different. And you get those plays. So I think it's still, though, Nagy's play calling isn't good. It's
See,
just
I'm not with the trickery. I feel like line up in I formation and just freaking pound it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if your offensive line is not able to hold a block when they're just moving straight forward, then that'll expose that, and you can hopefully make some changes at that point. I don't think. I mean, they can't hold a block for a sweep. They can't hold a block for a reverse.
They don't even know who to block on a sweep. They just fucking run out there with their hands like this, and they do a little spin around.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell, man?
They're not even putting hands on somebody to at least nudge them out of the way.
Right.
And I just don't understand why, if you're working on fundamentals and technique, I mean, some of these guys have been here for multiple years now. And Massey, Leno, I know Whitehair's not playing today. He's another one. Fetty's new. Coward's been here for a while. What are they not getting that other offensive lines in football are getting in? I'm sure there's teams that have this issue as well. And those are your teams at the bottom of the league.
Yeah.
And yet we're sitting here at 5-2 and can't move the football down the field. Well, let me rephrase that. We seem to be able to move the ball into the red zone, and then from there, we can't get in the end zone.
Mm-hmm.
That's, seems to be a problem. I mean, you heard Nagy talking about the 4th and 1 where they decide to try the quarterback sneak on Monday night inside
and
their own
stuffed.
Well, there is thank God Jermaine Ifedi jumped, because that would have just gave the Saints a short field, or the Rams a short field.
Oh,
those are the
Coward. Coward.
Oh, it was Coward. I'm sorry. Yeah. That's the situational coaching that Matt Nagy doesn't get as a head coach in the NFL. You're not going for it inside your own 25-yard line just because your offense is sputtering. Yeah. I mean, whether it's 4th and short or not, your offensive line could get you an inch. Foles was still hit.
Mm-hmm.
Something has to give this week. And if it's the Saints and their defense, I mean, Cam Jordan still makes me nervous.
Oh, yeah, Cam Jordan's a beast. Where they struggle is in the secondary.
Right. So
but we have to give him time to throw the ball.
Yeah, Cam Jordan hasn't had any sacks this year. I know he's coming off.
Well, they've been double teaming him and stuff, I think.
Yeah, but he's coming off of last year with 15 sacks, and this year he doesn't have any. This defense, the Saints defense, gives up 29 points a game. Like, if you're working with a shitty offense or not a shitty offense, but your offense has currently been shitty, and you're trying to turn this thing around, and you're trying to, get it going up against a team that is giving up 30 points a game should be like a blessing for you. Instead
of going up that should have been that way against the Panthers, and we did enough to win, but we didn't look. We didn't.
Should have been that way against the Giants. Should have been that way against the Falcons.
Oh, I know.
I mean, Nagy keeps saying it's execution. Well, you teach the execution, and your position coaches teach the execution. So you're pointing. Nobody's pointing the finger at anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
somebody's got to start pointing the finger. And I get the Pace-Nagy relationship and how they are chummy and their wives are friends and this, that, and the other thing. But Ryan Pace at some point has to, and I'm hoping it's after next week, because right after next week we have our bye, or is it a couple weeks after that?
I
think we have.
Is it? We have a week 11 bye, right? So we've still got a couple weeks. Yeah. I would hope Ryan Pace comes out and makes a statement at that point, and provides his thoughts on where this team is. I'm actually hoping Ryan Pace comes out tomorrow or Tuesday and says, we've made a trade for a left tackle, right tackle, left guard, whatever the case may be on that offensive line. I'm hoping we see him, before the bye week. But this offense, the A-Rob has cleared concussion protocol, so that's huge. And that's, we at least have somebody that, we can reliably throw the ball to. Darnell Mooney has been very good. And you look at the last 2 weeks here, Kmet and Mooney and A-Rob need to be primary parts of this offense. Enough with the Demetrius Harris experience. Anthony Miller isn't cutting it for me, which bothers me to say because I really like Anthony Miller. Yeah. I really have always thought he could be a phenomenal player on this team.
I mean, I thought he was going to be the next Antonio Brown.
Yeah, and for me, it's just he's just not making plays enough. I hope it's not a mentality thing. I know he took a lot of heat for that ball in the Giants game that should have been a touchdown. And then he missed another one later on. This offense is in disarray. And if this continues, they're just not, guys are going to start to get down. And it's going to get frustrating. And then the players are going to start calling each other out.
It's got to be frustrating for your defense to hold teams to field goals, to hold teams from scoring. We have one of the best red zone defenses in the league, one of the best third down defenses in the league. Our corners are shutting guys down, and you can't be on the field for 3.5 quarters out of the game because your offense is going 3 and out over and over and over and over again. It's going to get frustrating, and eventually, and that's when you start having issues in your locker room.
Yeah.
Now I do feel like Ryan Pace has done very well bringing in high character guys to keep that from happening, to keep our locker room from falling apart. But I mean, how long for a guy like Mack or Hicks or Fuller and Jalen Johnson? How long do they have to just hold their own and hope our offense figures it out?
I mean, you look at the defense, AC. I mean, Eddie Jackson's had multiple pick sixes called back.
Oh, goodness. Yeah.
He has the scoop and score last week. Khalil Mack was able to get to Goff last week and force a fumble that their offensive line unfortunately recovered. The defense just continues to go out and make plays, and the offense just gives them no help. I feel like in 18, the offense would make a play, and if they didn't score a touchdown, we had the ball, we had a short field, and we were able to capitalize.
Right.
I just don't see this offense with the short field really being able to capitalize. That's the frustrating part.
Yeah.
I don't know what the answer is other than making changes and giving guys an opportunity to prove themselves in live game action up front. And, whether that's Bars, whether it's Spriggs, whether it's, whoever else is there, Lachavius Simmons, and Arlington Hambright, any one of those guys.
Dieter Iceland.
Yeah, Dieter Iceland's another one. I don't know at this point. It's something it hasn't worked for 4 of these 5 guys for the, last 2 years. And yet they just keep bringing everybody out and doing the same thing. Nagy was asked in a presser this week, well, hey, don't you have it in your plays to, maybe keep a tight end in or chip before he goes out? Oh, yeah, we have those there, but, it's a scat package, so we want to send as many receivers out as we can. I mean, rewatching the game last night, the second catch Cole Kmet made after the long reception, there was 3 receivers in the same goddamn spot.
Yeah, you see it a lot.
What the hell? Some people what are you trying to scheme?
Yeah, some people put up the all 22, and you'll see a Mooney coming across on a little crossing route, and you'll see right behind him, 10 yards deeper, doing the same route as Anthony Miller.
I mean, even that throw to Kmet last week, the big gain one where he had to kind of go over the DB to get it, that was like a cross body throw.
Oh yeah, the throw you don't make. Yeah,
it was garbage, man. And then And
How
honestly,
about the throw he had to Mooney where he just chucked it up and Mooney had distance on his defensive back? If he throws it up for Mooney to at least try to run under, that's a touchdown.
well, there's
He
been
that was
instead
on
he
that
just
long
chucked
field,
it.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, there's a couple times this year that Mooney's been missed. I mean, this kid should definitely have a lot more yards. There was a deep ball against the Panthers that he was missed on. There was the one last week. That right there is what that would have been a 94 or 93 yard touchdown to Mooney.
His route running looks really good.
The kid is crisp, man. He is
when he just makes
crisp.
that little shake and goes.
Yeah, it's always.
I mean,
it's always
he did that against
comeback.
Ramsey, who's a Pro Bowl corner. So, so he can do it with anybody.
I think look at this offensive line. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Bobby.
I think staying with that though. I honestly think that Mitch made this offense look a lot better previously because of his escapability. There were some games last year where you seen Mitch go off and just with his feet. Yeah. And then when the offense got dismal, what was not happening? Mitch wasn't running anymore. He wasn't scatting out of the pocket. He wasn't getting away like that. We seen his however many yard run there was earlier in the season where everything was
the 45-yard run against Atlanta.
Yeah, where everything was broken. And then there was all Mitch can't throw when he rolls to his left. Remember, Mitch can't throw when he rolls this way. He was always rolling because of how fucking bad the offensive line is. It wasn't play design rolls. I mean, I'm sure some of them were, but he was just fleeing the pocket. We're not going to get that with Foles. We're not going to get a lot of that. We seen Foles try to run for it the other day. And he tripped over his dick and all 4 yards made the dude look like he was tired and needed to go get a breather. Yeah. I just think that a mobile quarterback makes it look better, obviously, but the offensive line is definitely the worst thing that this team has going right now.
Yeah, I just think to me, Bobby, you mentioned the Mitch Foles, and could we see Mitch again earlier? I mean, if let's say this continues, right? Foles hasn't hit a deep shot really yet either. I mean, he had the pass to Komet and then the one to A-Rob the other night. But, you're down 24-3. So you've got to take those chances. And, not the Komet one, that was early in the game. But the one to A-Rob in the fourth, you're down 24-3. So you're trying to get something together. So you've got to try those things. Why are we waiting? What's that's what I don't get. And you look at the offensive line last week. There was no time for Foles to throw. If he needed time, he was trying to make his own. You look at this week. Now you're down Cody Whitehair. So you're missing Cody Whitehair at center. Your left guard, James Daniels, is out. Coward, we know, has replaced James Daniels. And now it's Sam Mustipher replacing Cody Whitehair. Yeah. Mustipher's been here. This is his second season. Spent time on the practice squad. Here he is getting his first start. We've got a little clip of Sam talking about that right here. And, Mustipher Monday night, didn't really look the greatest either, but he's coming in. It's his first NFL action. So let's see what he says about his first start here.
Like most kids dream, I've been playing football since I was 5 years old. Growing up, football was all I knew. My dad was a high school football coach. I used to ride on the bus to the JV games. So, this is I've never played quarterback. I never threw a ball. I always played offensive line and defensive line. So, a lot of people dream about throwing that touchdown pass. I dream about making that clean block on the best defensive player you can. And I know that sounds corny, but, that's what I prepare for. That's what I train for. And it's fun, man.
How does this feel different to your first start at Notre Dame?
It's professional football. Yeah. These are grown men out here. These guys get paid. They're very talented. And, especially the Saints defense that, they bring out some looks, and that front seven, they take pride in stopping the run and being able to get after the quarterback. So I understand that this is a great challenge in front of us.
So Mustipher, I mean, I'm hoping this kid comes out and shines. Now that he's got a full week of practice under his belt as the guy, the starting center.
Yeah,
I'm hoping he comes out and shines and helps this O-line show a little bit of improvement. And maybe Cody, if he does, Cody Whitehair goes back to guard.
Boom. That's how I was just thinking, man.
Right?
I mean,
okay.
You have to play musical at that point, right? Yeah. I mean,
I hate to shuffle, but if it's not working the way it was going, you got to try something.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, it's a possibility. Say Mustipher does play well, or he plays well enough. Would you be better off with Mustipher at center and moving damn Whitehair out to guard? I'd have to say, like, why not give it a shot? Because you're definitely not fucking good now.
Right.
So, I mean, and then next year, I guess you could look at it like, well, that center piece of the line is shored up with Mustipher, Whitehair, and Daniels back. Like that could be a big turnaround that we need. Like I said earlier,
only on a 1-year deal.
Fetty is on a 1-year deal. I don't think Leno's going anywhere because it's just cost too much to get rid of him. Or you'd have too much dead cap to get rid of him. But I don't think Bobby Massey's sticking around. Bobby Massey's a 2 point
there in age, right?
And Massey's like a $2.6 million dead cap, I think. Either that or they pay him like $30 million. So I'm pretty certain Massey's a cap casualty and he's cut next year. Is that good? I could hear the bottom of that cup.
Oh, my bad. I thought I muted. My bad.
Straight. I know that noise is turning some of you out of the chat. It's okay. But who knows, man?
Under this beard.
Yeah. I mean, but who knows? It could sure up the line. We need a saving grace. We need Sam Mustipher to come out and be a great damn center. It might be one of the only things that saves the line this year. If there's no moves made or nothing like that happens, it's definitely going to come down to that, man. And if they can't get that right, who knows? I don't think we're going to have a big explosive running game. I think I just don't see that happening. It's definitely not going to, well, I won't say definitely, but going up against the Saints who have I think they're like 4th rush defense. They're a badass rush defense team. Now through the air is where they get destroyed.
Can we give Foles enough time? I don't think we can. I mean, that to me, that's going to be the biggest thing. I would like to see us come out and if we can't run the football, go to the short pass game that we talked about what they should do last week against the vaunted Rams defensive line, and they really didn't do that until late in the second quarter when they threw a slant to Allen Robinson a yard short of the marker and he had to slide to catch it. When teams are able to get in your backfield, you got to get rid of the ball quicker, use your short pass game. I mean, do I love the screens? No, I don't. I most of the time I hate the screens, but if you see them bringing pressure up the middle, throw it outside and let your receivers get that one-on-one matchup with the help of a block.
Yeah.
You never know what happens. I mean, you saw Robinson do it in Atlanta where, quick pass, catches a ball, he breaks free of a tackle, got a block, broke another guy and took it 33 yards. Those are the type of things. Let these receivers make plays like that. It's almost like this offense it's a deep reception and for a touchdown or nothing. There's no short, hey, he just threw a 7-yard slant and the guy took it to the house. I don't recall the last time we've seen that, in Nagy's offense.
I think it's just, man, I mean, I know it's like we're like beating a dead horse and going back and forth on this, right? I'm sorry, I'm looking down, I'm updating these scores for the NFC North. But either way, man, like I just don't have faith in Nagy calling the offense anymore.
I don't. I've lost it.
I just don't. And who knows? Maybe with an O-line it would be better. But what has he really shown over the years? I mean,
there's always been an excuse for him. You know what I mean? Like 2018, the kicker blew everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Last year, it's the quarterback. It's finger pointing at Mitch. You know what I mean? Now this year, it's the offensive line. It's not me. It's not my play calling. But coach, you're responsible for every facet of this game plan offensively. Yeah. It's you. The whole thing is you. So the BU that's on your fucking play sheet, take your Sharpie and cover that shit out. Stop being you and put in an offense that works to the skill set of the players on your roster. Because what you're doing now doesn't. And it totally shows with the 3 points that your offense was able to muster last week.
Yeah.
And it is what it is. Start holding your players accountable. I get it. I think Nagy's a great guy. He always seems to say the politically correct thing, this, that, and the other thing. He's a player's coach.
Yeah, guys like playing for him.
They like playing for him, respect. But just because you got to be a little hard on him every once in a while, coach, and call him out, it's okay. They're still going to respect you. They're not going to, just because you call, you got to do it. You have to hold your players accountable for their performance on the field and their actions off the field. You have to. And he just doesn't do it. And we have had this conversation since he was brought in here. And it's something has to change. I mean we're
Cody Parkey missed 4 field goals in the regular season on his first year, and they kept him here. And
I don't know though. I think maybe this question, I don't remember which reporter asked him it, but maybe this question humbles him a little bit. Maybe he's never thought of giving up the plays. Maybe that just wasn't in his the way he was doing things, to be like, you know what, maybe I should give this guy a shot. So hopefully this humbled him a little bit, or put that thought in his head, like, oh, well, maybe I'll give him a quarter, right? I mean, maybe I'll give him a quarter and see what happens.
I don't know if he'll be humbled as long as we're winning games.
Where's the guy? These coaches always say they have somebody checking self-scouting.
Yeah.
Where's the guy that's saying, coach, you keep running to the short side of the field. Your situational play calling is shit. Where's that guy? Because I think in these 3 years, nothing's changed.
You could say self-scouting, and you can act like this is what happens, right? But what do you do with that, with those thoughts? What do you do with those when somebody tells you that, right? Are you humble? Are you humble enough to change it up, or are you just like, well, I did this? Are you more defensive? Like, oh, I did that because of this. I did that because of this. I did that because of this. And are you selling it to yourself why you're doing it, instead of actually seeing, you know what I mean, through somebody else's eyes of what's going on? So Bears that it's just asked in the chat, is Dwayne Harris playing today? Dwayne Harris is officially on the active roster today. So whether or not Nagy uses him, we'll see. But I'm assuming that he's definitely going to be returning punts
he'll
today.
Be returning punts.
Against the team that didn't punt last week.
Can you believe this, though? Remember how annoyed with Tariq we were at times?
Yeah.
Because he would do the same shit.
Yeah.
And then the other night I'm sitting there going, damn, man, I miss Tariq. Like,
at least he would usually get under it and try to call a fair catch. What drove me nuts about Tariq was he thought he could make a play when it wasn't there sometimes.
Yeah.
and that would get him in trouble.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, either way, I think he was more electric and more of a threat than what we've currently put back there, though.
Absolutely. I'm just glad it's not Anthony Miller back there. I'll say that, because I know I went nuts.
I was wondering why.
Announced.
I was wondering why Cordero Patterson isn't a punt returner. He's
me too.
One of the best kick returners in the league, if not the best.
Yeah, Patterson.
And he not return punts.
Didn't Patterson take it to the house last time against the Saints?
He did.
A kick
he did.
Yeah, I think it was our only touchdown last year.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know, man.
We're like the
I
rest
look
of
at the
you.
running. You know, we touched on it earlier in the Hafer Montgomery. You know, the guy's doing what he can. There's nothing there for him, and if you go back and watch the games, whether it's the condensed game or you sit there and watch, you know, the coach's film, there's nothing there for Montgomery. And you know, you see the play last week where Aaron Donald knifes through. Montgomery tried to spin off of him to try to get away.
Yeah.
But of course, boom, there's somebody right there waiting for him.
is there. Yeah.
It's so frustrating, you know. Cordell Patterson, he's not a running back, you know. So take and give guys like Nall a carry or Artavius Pierce. Just if you're putting Patterson in the backfield, they know where the ball's going.
Well,
normally you're scheming something off of that. You want people to think he's getting the ball when he's really not.
Yeah. And I mean, so the whole Montgomery thing, right? I still have faith in Montgomery as a back. I do. Totally. I know that the hole's not there, right? Yeah. But my only issue with Montgomery, and it is that there is space. He just tries to go exactly where the place is designed to go just because he's disciplined, right? And he tries to go exactly where the play is designed to go, and our offensive line doesn't. The hole's not at that point. It's like over here or over there because they've been blown backwards or whatever. So there are still some running lanes. Specifically, I think it was the first play of the game. There was a huge running lane, but he put the ball where it was designed to go and ended up running right into one of our linemen. I don't know if I won't say that he's got bad vision or anything like that. I just think that he's still disciplined enough, right, to where he doesn't want to upset the coach or doesn't want to do whatever, that he's going to put the ball exactly where it's supposed to go instead of breaking one open. We've seen him a couple times this year. The hole's not there and he breaks left or breaks right. And those are his biggest gains.
Yeah.
So do I want to see a more undisciplined back to just find the spot? I don't know, man. I don't know if that's really how you relay it. But I definitely want more yards. I know that much.
Don't we all?
Yeah. Alex says Monty needs to hit the hole fast and not juke for 3 seconds every time. I think he does need to pick up the speed on hitting the hole, but the problem is the hole's not there. He needs to. His initial reaction when he gets the ball is to look where's the hole at, and you'll see if you go back and watch a lot of the tape, you'll see him put his head into a lineman's back almost. I don't know, just a lot of the time he's running right into a lineman that where it's supposed to be. He just brought up Jordan Howard. I was going to say with Jordan Howard was finding a hole. He wasn't going to where it was supposed to be. He was just finding an opening and going. You might as well just said hand off to the right, hand off to the left, find a fucking hole and go. Because that's kind of what Montgomery or what Howard was doing in this offense before.
Yeah, I saw a tweet earlier this week from somebody saying, "Oh, if we had Jordan Howard, imagine how good this offense would be."
Yeah, I mean,
to me, what? Jordan Howard can't crack the starting lineup in Miami, for God's sake.
Yeah.
Like
I think they made a great move getting rid of him when they did.
Yeah. Nothing against Jordan Howard. I loved his time here. I to be honest, I didn't like to see him go, but we got something for him instead of. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to see. We say it all the time. Consistently inconsistent is the only thing that this offense is. So this week, let's try to fix that. Let's try to do something that, is going to be start, I'm not saying you got to start off with a, 95-yard touchdown pass but how about a 95-yard touchdown drive? Or, Well, maybe not even. How about a 75-yard touchdown drive? How about Cordero takes a knee in the end zone, which I know he doesn't like to do, and I get it. He's pretty good coming out. But how about a nice 13-play, 75-yard drive that results in a touchdown? Using your run game, in the eye, or having a fullback on the field, to have that extra blocker to try to open something up and give some help to this O-line. It's okay to throw the ball out of the I formation. It's okay to run the ball out of it.
Yeah.
I don't get the lack of usage since Foles took over.
Yeah, I think there's and Nagy said this week that he's gonna give Nick more freedom in the offense. I thought that's what he had in the Atlanta game, where you see him kill players. Players were even saying like, "Oh, Nick did great. He killed that play because he's seen something and he's seen it wasn't going to work, so he kills this play and then he goes with this." I think Jimmy Graham's the one who said it, and it worked out great and found me here or found me there, whatever, right? And then Foles comes out and says, "Yeah, I had to kill the one play because of the defense they were in, and I just told Miller to run to the L." And those were things that we had heard in the past. And then you see Nagy come out and say that he's giving Foles more control of the offense. I thought
maybe that's a good thing then.
Yeah, I thought this
kid already some of the control out of fucking Nagy's hands, for God's sake.
Yeah, and it's like worrisome that your starting quarterback for an NFL franchise does not have that ability right now.
Right?
Like, why does he not? Like, this is a guy that you're putting your confidence in, and you're not letting your quarterback control the offense. How fucking stupid does that sound? Like, you know what I mean? And like, and maybe that's where things behind closed doors, where these players are like the Montgomery who's hitting the hole, because that's where it's supposed to be. Guess what, coach? It wasn't there. We only got 2 yards. And maybe that's where you see some of these decisions. Maybe behind closed doors, these dudes are getting fucking lit up by Nagy. Like, I didn't call that, dude. That play was supposed to be like this or whatever. You killed it. This is why it would have worked. And they're getting shit on and kind of looking like, made it look to be like it was their fault, right? So now they're like, yeah, whatever. I'll just run the play. I mean, we seen that one week where Foles was literally like fighting with him on the sidelines, kind of yelling at the coach. And it wasn't a angry demeanor yell, but it was like a damn, frustration. And this is what we needed. It was here, and you just see him going, man. So, I mean, I don't know, that comment just bothered me to the point to where like, oh, I'm giving him more control of the offense. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Peyton Manning used to go to the line. I know Peyton Manning's been gone a long time, but that's a dude that used to go to the line with like 12 plays. 12 fucking plays,
right? Yeah,
and you would be able to just go with what works, Peyton. Whatever. So to say that your quarterback doesn't have control of the offense, I didn't like that statement at all. Another thing I know, I just wanted, let me ask the chat. Let me ask the chat a little trivia question here. Who from the New Orleans Saints was once a quarterback for the Chicago Bears? Oh, I thought somebody had the answer already. Yeah. I mean, I see the bench Leno thing. I see they'll let the 2 Notre Dame players play side by side. Look, I'm down for whatever. I mean, honestly, at this point, if somebody has a magic freaking move that internally, without making a trade or whatever, that makes this shit work,
do it.
I just want to see bars. I mean, we've seen Coward. We've seen him for 2 seasons now.
Yeah.
So that's not the answer. Why not try something different?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, at this point, they should take a shot at anything. You know what I'm saying? Tiger, kill him. Nope, it wasn't Breeze. Sean Payton, Jacoby. Is it Jacoby?
Jacoby.
Yep, Jacoby, 0311. Hoorah. Yep, it was Sean Payton. Sean Payton had a brief stint with the Bears. I think it was 86 or 87, somewhere around there. Sean Payton was a quarterback for the Chicago Bears. So, can we send Jacoby something too?
Sure, we'll send him a sticker. Why not?
Jacoby, hit us up on the DM or private chat or whatever the hell, Facebook. Hit up Mr. Ryan Badgley, badge of honor, and let him know your information so he can send you out something. What else we got? We want to get into bold predictions, score predictions, and wrap this one up or what?
Yeah, I think that's a good way to go.
All right, if you're in the chat, send us your bold prediction, score prediction. We'll send them across the screen for you, and we'll see. I'm going to have to look at the betting line today, Badge. I'm going to have to throw another...
I've been waiting. I thought for sure.
The only thing I needed last week was a Cole Kmet touchdown. I hit my other two parlays for $8,700 with a $50 bet. I needed one Cole Kmet touchdown. Didn't get it. but yeah, send us your... Oh, Tigger. What did I say? I said Tiger, huh? Oh, yeah. Look at that. Tigger is even your
picture.
Okay.
Giveaway.
I'm stupid. I think we could all agree on that. So in the chat, send us your score predictions, bold predictions, and let's get after this one. Which one of you two want to start this thing off?
Go with AC.
All right, AC, send it.
My bold prediction is that Bojack takes another ball to the house. I don't know if it'll be a pick or another scoop and score, but I see Eddie Jackson getting in the end zone. Score prediction, I'm not high on this game. I'm terrified of Alvin Kamara, and I feel like the Saints win this game. The defense keeps it close, but the offense again sputters and doesn't get enough done, and the Saints win this game 21-17.
21-17 Saints. We got Alex is in here, 21-14 Bears. Tigger, 24-21 Bears. Bears edits, 27-24 Bears. J. Peter Jakovsky, Saints, 27 Bears 6. Ouch. Boiler Maker, boiler up. Bears 24-20. The Factory Bears win 21-17. Montgomery has his best game as a Bear. Okay, I'll take that. Mr. Badge, over to you, man. What's your bold prediction, score predictions? What you got?
Oh God, bold prediction. My bold.
While you're thinking, let me answer your question. The weather in Chicago is 37 degrees at kickoff.
My bold prediction is that today, let me see. Who am I going to say is going to do it, though? My bold prediction today is that Buster Skrine will block a Will Lutz field goal attempt.
Dang.
Wind is going to be a factor in Soldier Field, but I think Skrine's going to come off the edge and block a Will Lutz field goal attempt. But my score prediction, not going to be hot for this Bears offense. I just don't think that they can score against any defense right at this point in time. I hope I'm wrong, and I hope it blows up in my face. But I don't see the Bears scoring more than 6 points today. But due to the wind as well, I only see the Saints putting up 17. So it's going to be Saints 17, Bears 6.
Oh, ouch.
Well, now that we know it's cold in Chicago, that helps us out. As I said before, Drew Brees has always struggled in cold weather situations, whether it was San Diego or New Orleans. I mean, look how many times a year he plays in a dome. So there's I guess a smaller sample size of it, but apparently he struggles in cold weather situations. So maybe, hopefully, myself and Badge are wrong, and the Bears pull this one out.
Yes, hopefully you guys are wrong. This is what I'm going with. Let me get into score prediction first. I'm going with that the Bears score over 30 points. I'm going with a 31-27 game.
Well, there's your bold prediction right there. The Bears score 30.
I know. They're going to get it going, man. I'm going with 31-27, and I am what could be my bold prediction? Let's go with I'll go with a bold prediction that QB #10
Oh shit.
takes at least one snap this game. Whether it be
Foles' career is over as of today.
whether it be because of maybe a something happens or whatever, or Nagy tries to get fucking slick like like the
Foles'
Saints
cleat
do.
comes off, so he's got to sit out of play.
My bold prediction is that Mitch Trubisky takes a snap today. And my score prediction is 31-27 Bears. I'm going with it, man. We'll see what happens. Bold prediction, Bears edits. Oh no, I thought that was a bold prediction. If we could beat the Bucs team, why not the Saints? I agree, Bears edits. I agree. I'm just saying, let's take it to them. We're putting up over 30 points today. That's it. It's going to happen, boys. Everybody in the chat, thank you for joining us. We appreciate it. Bold prediction, Trubisky scores on a trick play. Hey, that was what I'm saying. I think he's going to take a snap today. So if you got him scoring, as long as he takes a snap, my shit comes to fruition. We appreciate everybody in the chat. Thanks for joining us. Shout out to Accelerate Mortgage and Mr. Mike Kaser. Again, Mike went ahead, and if you guys don't know, when we had Allen Robinson on, Mike went ahead and donated $7,500 to the With and Reach Foundation. Was chatting with all them 2 days ago, and official, done. I don't know, whatever paperwork has to get done for that stuff, but it's official. It got signed and done. So Mike, thank you. We appreciate it. With and Reach Foundation, obviously, thanks for all your guys' support and partnering up with us. Give a shout out to Mrs. Jamie Giorgani. She had her little dragon costume on last night. It was pretty cool. She, run around looking like a damn, like a Yoshi. Riding Yoshi in the old Mario games. So it was pretty cool. But otherwise, man, I appreciate everybody joining us. Shout out to all you guys. And I'll pass this thing over to Mr. Ryan Badgley. You got any shout outs?
Yeah, man, I just echoed the statements you made. Aldo Gandia, everybody at the Barroom Network, Joe Tooch, John Buffone, our man, Tyler Ellis, the Gaines Report, Mike North, David Schuster, Mark Shanowski, Greg Gabriel, killing it always. If I forgot anybody, my bad. Just Barroom Network, man, still doing its thing. So, give us a follow if you're not. Don't forget, sign up for Patreon, man. There's some exclusive content you guys can get on there, swag shop discounts, all sorts of good stuff. So you're definitely going to want to head over to our Patreon page as well.
AC, what you got, man?
Shout out to you guys for letting me come on here and have my weekly therapy session so I can talk some Bears. As I've said plenty of times, there ain't a whole lot of Bears fans around here in Kentucky. So I love being able to come on here and talk about our beloved Bears, whether it's win, lose, or tie. And shout out to everyone who was in the chat, and specifically my boy Crazy Ace. I think it was about 10 years ago we were together in Korea. Nice. Me and a couple of other Bears fans, and I think he just got back from another tour in Korea. So he is back home. Shout out, Ace. Thanks for tuning in, brother. And we'll be here next week, earlier next week.
Yeah.
We came on later for the later game.
Yeah, and everybody in the chat, join after the game. Immediately after the game, Bear Football will be on with Mr. Aldo Gandia, I almost said JD. John Buffone and Tyler Ellis will be there bringing the excitement and just an action-packed little show that they got. They got all the post-game interviews, and you'll hear their thoughts on that. And otherwise, let's go get this dub, man. I'm going to leave everybody with a fat-ass bear down.
Bear down.
Bear down.